I see on social media all the time where women hit this certain age and their filter goes away, their I don't care comes into play. That is not just some spiritual awakening that we have had. That is our hormones shifting.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's odd. And you just wake up one day and realize, like, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
And it's important to know that there's answers out there.
Thank you for watching Mornings with Missy. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch this program, and join us live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m.
Good morning, ladies. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Missy with Mornings with Missy, and today we are going to continue our conversation with real women, real talk, real stories. And we are introducing you today to another strong, dynamic woman, Miss Carrie Holworth. Did I say that wrong?
Woolhart.
Okay, well we got the
you
plugs right out earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here we go. That's all right. She is a nurse practitioner and owner of Quick Med Health right here in Henryetta, Oklahoma. And I've had the privilege of using your services professionally for the last 3 or 4 years. And I'm excited to introduce her to you today. So thank you for joining us, Carrie.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So cheers to you.
Yes.
We are continuing to meet dynamic women in the green country market, and you have I'm just a terrific story, and I want to give you the opportunity just to share that, how you came into the medical profession and why you chose Henryetta to open a practice. So where do you want to begin?
Yeah, so I've been in the medical industry for a very long time. Started out as a tech and worked my way up to nurse practitioner. Both my parents are in the healthcare industry, so I feel like it's in my blood, so to speak. I live local, so I saw the need and the healthcare disparity that was in our area, and decided to seek out my nurse practitioners solely so I could open a clinic in the area and accept walk-in availability. That way I could meet the urgent care need.
So have you always had the entrepreneurial mindset?
I would say so. I mean, from a very young age, I was always looking at how I could, turn a dollar into more and turn my, laundry money into more. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So tell me, you're a mom first.
Yes.
I know. So tell me about your family.
So I have 3 wonderful boys. One of them, the other 2 are older, but one of them is 5, special needs, and is the center of our entire universe at this point.
I'm sure he is, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's 5, and
He's 5.
What are his special needs?
So he has Charge syndrome, which was learned roughly around day 7 after birth. We knew about 5 to 6 months in that he was going to have a heart condition and was going to require open heart surgery shortly after birth. But it wasn't until about day 7, we're sitting in the NICU awaiting our first heart surgery, and they're doing all of the testing, and they said, we think he has Charge syndrome. And currently being in nurse practitioner school, I had no idea what that was. So it very quickly turned my world upside down, and started frivolously researching everything I could.
I'm sure that it did. What does that look like exactly in a day-to-day life for you guys?
So Charge syndrome is quite like the autism spectrum. So they can be very functional, they can be bedridden. It just all depends on what they're gifted with. So in our situation, he has a sight deficit, he has hearing deficit, he has a malformed ear. So he has hearing loss in both ears. He has trouble walking because of his inner ear issues and his sight perception issues.
Wow.
So he has been lucky enough to be in Little Lighthouse in Tulsa, which is a school for special needs that's also faith-based, and has gotten an immense amount of therapy and is, I mean, really like proving them wrong all along. I mean, we were
phenomenal.
in the ICU right after his first open heart, and I will never forget one of the attendings telling me, you know, you need to really be prepared. He is not going to be able to probably even feed himself. He is going to be so profound. He can't see, he can't hear. You know, and as a new mom who knows enough to be terrified, it was devastating. You know, all while my husband was out in the parking lot.
Yeah, because he's 5. So this was all
April
during
of 2020.
COVID.
Yeah, middle of COVID. So as soon as I was discharged, my husband was stuck out in the parking lot
That
for 8
just
hours a
brings
day.
on a whole new level of stress, anxiety, fear.
Oh, absolutely. You're having to learn all of these what ifs and regurgitate it to someone who's not medical before you're even fully processing it. I mean, it was very difficult.
You had to grow up real quick in that world.
Yes.
So that was 2020. I mean, that's a lot. I mean,
It is.
I think about, you know, what we were doing in 2020, and we were trying to buy a business during that whole COVID era. That's a lot, but that's not the type of stress that you were dealing with. I mean, we're talking about, you know, the life of your child. But it was shortly after that you finished your education, and then you stepped into this whole world of wanting to open a business. So let's just pause right here, because I want you to share your cup.
Okay.
Right here. Let the audience see what your cup says.
Okay, so it's strength, because this is one of my words that I live by literally every day, because if we don't have strength, then what do we have?
Right. And where does your strength come from?
My faith, my family, my friends. It is definitely not us, you know, walking through this by ourselves. It is who we have around us that are holding us up. Absolutely.
It truly is community, which is, quite frankly, one of the driving factors for me to agreeing to come on and take part of this show, is because I wanted to build that community of women where we were connecting. And now when we see each other out on the street, it feels like we know each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if they've not stepped into your clinic or into our dealership, but they've seen us on television, or whatever the platform is,
social
and they've
media,
heard
any of
our
the streaming,
stories, and they feel a connection, because that's truly what it's about. Why did you choose Henryetta? I mean, even within Green Country, there are slightly larger markets, if you will, but why did you choose the Henryetta Main Street to open your business?
So that's a really good question. That's like the $1 million question right there. So, you know, I live local, and although I didn't graduate from Henryetta, I feel very tied to Henryetta. But my children went to Henryetta. They also went to Dewar. So just very locally, I knew we didn't have, you know, an urgent care like the larger cities did. It was a very big need. I, you know, have worked with all of the other physicians in the area, you know, at the local hospital, and knew there was no way to get in. You know, if you were sick, you might as well go to the ER. And then our ER was overrun. So I knew, after being in management for healthcare for a very long time, that I wanted to be my own boss. I didn't want to be told what was right, what was wrong. I am a firm believer that patients come first, just despite what modern thought is in healthcare. Finances should always come second. And when I saw that we had a need here, I jumped on it. And what better thing to do than to invest in downtown Henryetta, in one of the best, oldest buildings, and originally one of the worst looking buildings on Main Street.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I was excited to see that I was like, what is coming in here,
Yeah.
So that's incredible to see. And, after you opened your Quick Med, there was another one that came in down the street.
Yeah.
And this community has sustained both of those.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know
Absolutely.
that you're good friends with Susan down the street,
Yeah.
and you guys support one another completely. I was real excited when you started offering other services in your facility. So
Me too.
Yeah.
That is, although my heart is a helping heart, I want to help anyone and be anything that this community needs, whether it's sick visits, chronic disease management. I also want wellness and restoration.
Yes, and I know that your heart too. You love the wound care.
Yes.
I
yes.
mean, I think that was like your foundation, or what you had done early on. You still do that.
Yes. So I
In-home.
work in home as well as offer in clinic. So that way we can meet the needs of those older clients that are unable to travel.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, there's just so many layers to
There's-
what you're offering.
there's a lot.
And I know that Carrie has a desire to just bring even more and more services to us as she's able to do that, because you're juggling a lot.
I do.
But you're doing it so well.
Thank you. That's
So-
what everybody says. You do it so gracefully.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is my goal.
Well, I've always said that as women, that's kind of our goal, isn't it? You want to look like the swan running across the water, but
Right.
underneath, you don't know that your feet are just paddling.
You're juggling constantly.
But we just need to do it with a little bit of grace.
Yes. Well, and I feel like it's easier. If you're doing something that you love and you're truly meant to be in, everything else is going to fall in place.
Yeah, that's so true. So let's dive into some of the things that
Okay.
are offered there at Quick Med. I'm going to just, be an open book. One of the services that I use, and I'm so grateful for, and had resisted, if you will, for quite some time, was the hormone replacement therapy.
Yes.
As you get older, and there's lots of younger women too that are dealing with this. So I was fortunate. Quite honestly, I feel very fortunate that I didn't feel all of the things that
Right.
some of my friends have dealt with hormonally and all until I was in my mid-50s.
And often silently, because it's been very taboo. It's, modern medicine tells us that we're just getting older and that's just it. We should just deal with it. And that is not true. That it should never be a long, slow road,
Right. So let's talk about that. What are the symptoms that most women encounter that they may not realize is a sign of a need?
Okay, it's going to be more than you would think.
Okay. Probably.
So we'll start off with sleeping problems. Whether it's you wake up to roll over and you think it's just normal after having your child, it's just something changed, difficulty going to sleep, difficulty staying asleep, just overall zest in life, just the overall thought that this is it, this is what the rest of my life is going to be. We've got problems with irritability. They think we're just emotional. That's not the case. We have different, physical changes. We have atrophy that happens. We have a decreased sex drive. We have problems losing weight. We can't get the weight off and we don't know why. Migraines, skin and hair changes. I mean, it is, honestly, there is
A long
more
list.
attached to it
Yeah.
than you could even imagine.
For me personally, and I've always been the type of individual that was very driven. I could, whether I felt like it or not, I would say I'm committed to doing X, Y, and Z every single day. And I found myself, prior to coming to you, was like, what is wrong with me? I mean, I've never had a problem getting up and wanting to, making myself work out, even if I didn't want to. but it's like I just didn't really. It's like
there's no drive.
Yeah, there was. Where was the drive? And I'm like, nothing has changed, or should have changed. It's like it was just the didn't care factor.
Absolutely.
And then, I'm just being real blunt here.
Let's do it.
It was the whole. I'm gonna make it nice. I was kind of witchy.
Okay.
Okay, with the capital B.
Yeah.
Just the grouchy factor. And then, so I started the hormone therapy, and it worked so well that I didn't continue it. I mean, honestly.
Right, you think you're fixed.
Yeah, why did I not do that? And so tried, some other things on my own for a while, and then I'm like, I think I need to get back on it. Because for me, what I was also experiencing were just some, the anger. You didn't even touch on that, but I know a lot of women that's like, where did that come from? I'm just making the bed.
Right. And I see on social media all the time where women hit this certain age and their filter goes away, their I don't care comes into play. That is not just some spiritual awakening that we have had. That is our hormones shifting.
Yeah.
So yes, it's odd, and you just wake up one day and realize, like, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
And it's important to know that there's answers out there.
There are answers, and I know a number of my friends who have had experiences where they've gone to their doctor and they've said, I just can't seem to lose the weight, and I'm eating right, I'm following all of the protocol, I just don't understand. And their answer is, well, you just need to exercise more. Well, I've tried that. It's not working.
Yeah.
So, or maybe that's like what you say with the migraines, and they're just not pushed in the right direction. And it's not always men.
No.
No. In the healthcare industry.
No,
that's
exactly.
doing that.
So let's like pause for a minute.
Okay.
Because I really want to hit on this. What these providers are telling you is not right or wrong. It's what we were taught in school. What we were taught. Like, just sit on that a minute. We only know what we know. And until you dive out there and see in all this other literature, that's just what they're telling you. No, you should exercise, throw yourself in a better metabolic rate. But what they don't realize is if your testosterone is off, yes, for women, if your estradiol is off, your progesterone, you're not going to function well. What if you don't have the carrier for your hormones to get the hormones where they need to go? It's like you don't have them. They're just sitting there, but you don't have them. And so they look at these lab numbers, and I'm just throwing numbers out there, so nobody send me hate mail, please. But let's say women have a normal level for testosterone when you get your blood work done of 2 to 40, okay? But you feel horrible, and you don't know why, because you're normal. So normal is just a range, and I do not like to put anyone in a normal box. I feel like if you are in the normal range, but you are symptomatic, and everything points to that being the problem, such as testosterone, for example, then you're not normal. And so we should definitely look at that.
Yeah, and I was so encouraged because it wasn't, well, I'm feeling this way or that way. Oh, well, here, take a pill. Or it was, we're going to do your labs, we're going to look at your levels, and we're going to go from there. We've got that visitor.
We've got a housefly.
Yeah, so let's shoo him away. So I was really encouraged about that, and I was shocked, quite frankly, at how low my levels were, because I thought, you think, oh, I'm going to be fine. I was pleasantly surprised and, quite frankly, happy to find out that there really was something
actually get an answer
that I needed help with. I wasn't going to be able to fix it on my own. There wasn't a protein shake that was going to do it for me. I was going to need some help. So it truly did make a difference. So is there an age range of when women start experiencing these issues?
Yeah, so estradiol can kind of come and go. That's more genetics. Your testosterone, as women by the age of 40, we lose about half of our testosterone reserve. We don't get that out of our diets like we used to. I mean, if we were to get even just the nourishment that we needed from a bowl of kale, today we would need to eat roughly, 12 to 20 bowls of kale to get the same nutrient content that it had 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
So with that being said, diet is important, but it is not the end all be all. So we have to figure out what modality is going to work best and then go from there. It's very individualized. There's not one cookie cutter answer for everybody. And I think that's what's most important to understand.
Yeah. And the hormone replacement therapy, as far as the process goes, it's very easy.
Yeah.
It's very easy. I'm in and out of your office in 15 minutes.
Oh, absolutely.
From start to end, if that.
Well, and so let's talk about the process for a minute. So I like to sit down and have a consultation. If you're not sure what you want to do, then we'll sit down, we'll have a consultation, we'll figure out what your issues are and how we're going to best fix them. So I would sit down with you. I would have you draw some lab work. We would have an extensive first visit and discuss literally everything. And then once you get the lab work back, we would call you and let you know, hey, you're definitely a candidate. And we would decide what method you would want to choose, and then we would get you scheduled or medication called in, or however you would choose to go from there.
And I've done the pellet, and it's minimal discomfort.
Oh, absolutely.
At all. It's like a prick, and completely unnoticeable. So
Yeah.
I recommend that. Truly.
It's honestly my favorite. However, I know one method isn't the best for everybody.
Sure.
But with me being super busy, it's in and forgotten about for 3 to 4 months. And so you have more of a steady state. So I'm going to set this down. I'm going to use my hands for a minute.
Okay.
So let's say we take an oral medication. Okay. We're taking it every day. Take it in the morning. Your level starts out here. It rises during the day, and then it falls in the evening. Okay. That way in the next morning, you're going to take it and it's going to rise and fall. So you're going through that roller coaster every day. You take something like injections weekly, however you choose to do so. You're going to go up and down every week. These pellets are every 3 to 4 months for women. So you're getting a much steadier release. You're going up and down over a 3 to 4 month period. So it's definitely not as noticeable. And I think that right there is where the ladies are always, it's I don't notice anything.
Right.
It's, I think I'm going to wait a little bit. And
That's
then you
exactly
come
right.
off of it and you realize how much it was actually working.
Because in the beginning, same is true. In the beginning, right after you get the injection, you're like, oh, I don't really know if this is working. But then you're coming into that curve, and then you're like, oh, yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I always tell everybody, pick that worst symptom.
Yeah.
Whatever that horrible symptom was for you, that's going to be the first one to go away,
Yeah.
which, by the way, is usually around day 7 to 10. And then that is also going to be the first one to come back. So that way if it was sleeping, I'm not sleeping all night. It's time for me to get back in. And I guarantee you it's going to be right around that 3 to 4 month mark.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it was just that mood shift.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The mood shift. That was a dramatic.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we got to do something here. This isn't normal. This is not me.
Well, and I think it's easy for society to tell us as moms, entrepreneurs, that we're just juggling too many things. It's just stress. And that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
We deserve much better.
Yeah. So let's unload on some of the other services that we can take advantage of here. There's so many things for women, and not just women, but for men as well.
Yes. I want to stop because I did forget we had asked about age range and I never actually got there.
Yes. Okay.
So, sorry, it's time for my pellets too. So, anybody 18 or over can be a candidate. Now, most of my clients are age 20 to, my oldest client is 96 years old. Yes, 96. So you do this pelleting, we'll call it replacement, however you choose to do so. We are doing that until you no longer want to feel that way. So it's not, I'm old now, and so I'm just going to let it go. It absolutely is not the case. We'll do that as long as you are healthy enough to do so and you choose to do so.
Well, brain fog.
Yes.
Sometimes we'll just stutter to come up with the word. No, that doesn't have anything. That's just forgetfulness. But brain health. Let's talk about that, because I know that the hormone replacement, or just making sure that everything is lined up, that can help with our brain health.
Absolutely.
Later in life. So that was a big selling factor for me, if you will.
Absolutely. Well, you have to think, we've been such a beauty industry, right? And everybody has always said, beauty is skin deep, right? You hear that all the time. It is not the case. Beauty starts within. So it's not only your skin, which is the largest organ in your body.
Right.
So why would we not want to take care of it as such? But every other system. And your hormones directly impact every system, especially your brain. And it's not only clarity, it is synapses at the cellular level. It is phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me. It's like, because I've always cared about what I put into my body. For those reasons, why are we not sustaining that long term?
And it just goes back to the fact that our diet is not once what it was.
Yes.
And we are busy. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I will eat drive-through just like everyone else. And that is why I feel like supplementation is so important.
Well, we've got a lot to unload here, and I know that there's other things that we are going to want to dive into. So just, can you give me a little list of the things that you offer, so we can make sure where we want to cover, because you're not going to be a one-time guest for us.
There's just too much.
There's too much. There's way too much, and I want to bring you back. So let's talk about some of those things that we will want to uncover next.
The first thing I would like to discuss, if possible, is something that ties in very well to hormone replacement. So we have the vaginal rejuvenation, which, again, you guys will have to come back and hear that talk, because it's a lot. But we do offer lots of laser treatments. So whether it's, skin tightening, body contouring, skin resurfacing, hyperpigmentation, laser hair removal. We offer facials, chemical peels, which it's peel season, so it's time to get in for one of those. We offer IV hydration, so going back to, beauty starts within. We offer neuromodulators such as, Botox, filler. We offer PRP, which is where you draw your own blood, spin it down, take the serum, and you either inject it or use it as a glide for facials. And all of this is causing regeneration. So that is actually one of the most healthy things.
I have a lot to learn.
Yes.
Because there's hormone replacement and a little bit of Botox are the only things that I've used.
There's so much more.
There's so much. And so much education that needs to come along with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just take it at face value.
Absolutely. And that's what I tell everybody. This is what I think you should do. Please do your research on your own. I want you to be comfortable with whatever we decide to do. I mean, just because I say what I think, I mean, don't take that as gold. Everybody has to be their own advocate anymore in healthcare.
You absolutely do. I want to just pause briefly, and I want to give a shout out to Reba's Flowers.
Yes.
They are Buds and Blooms. Reba's Buds and Blooms. They provided us with our beautiful little arrangement here on our table. Thank you so much, Carrie, for being here. We're going to have her back, so please stay tuned and look for ways that you can participate as well. Carrie, thank you for sharing your cup with us this morning. So I'm going to be asking our viewers if you will submit your photos. You can do that online, and we'll have an email address for you to send those to. But please share your stories with us so that you can be featured on one of our upcoming episodes. Morning toast to you.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ladies. We'll see you next time.
Bye.